Well, welcome to the Business Spotlight series. My name is Heather Frierson, and I'm your host of the Business Spotlight podcast. And today I have Cliff Robinson, owner of Handyman Services in Austin, Texas. And today we're going to be talking about all about his journey to business ownership, franchising, best practices, and really just share a sneak peek of what it's like to own and operate a business. So, if this is your first time, you know what to do. Like and subscribe so that you don't miss a notification every time a new show drops, just like this one. Well, Cliff, welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you, Heather. Thanks for inviting me. I've been
Of
looking forward
course.
to it for weeks.
I love it. I love an excited guest that is ready to go and ready to talk.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, how about you just set the stage for us and our audience and give a little bit of a background about who you are and your business?
Okay. I was born and raised in Texas. 1992, I joined the Marine Corps. After the Marines, I started working at this company, a laundry service company. And I did that for about 27 years. And then actually almost 5 years ago, so June 3rd is our 5-year anniversary,
Oh,
we started Ace
congratulations.
Handyman Services, which is a franchise of Ace Hardware. And we have a territory pretty much south and west Austin, all the way down to Canyon Lake.
Hmm. Canyon Lake is not a bad deal to
No,
have to
it's
go
not.
to.
No, we have Wimberley too, which I love Wimberley. It's a nice little
Yeah,
town. So, yeah.
yeah. So for those listening that may not be familiar with the area, it's just a beautiful part of the hill country in the Austin between Austin and San Antonio, and it's just so great. So you're about to celebrate 5 years, so congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So for those of us that aren't really bent toward knowing what handyman do,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about Ace Handyman.
Okay, so it's really weird. It's very hard to quantify handyman service because to 10 different people, a handyman does 10 different things. Most people equate handyman to what their dad did or their granddad
Hmm.
did, right, around the home.
I would
Um,
too. That's a great assessment. Yes.
yeah. So what we do is we pretty much do handyman service, which is everything from drywall, carpentry work, doors, windows, siding. There's lots of different things. It's almost easier to tell you what we don't do. So in the
Mm.
state of Texas, we don't run wiring inside the walls. We don't do plumbing, water lines underground or in the walls, and we don't repair HVAC systems because that all takes a license in Texas. But pretty much everything else we could do. Now, some examples of things we don't do. I've had people call at like 11 o'clock at night. Hey, I locked my keys in the car. Can you come get them out? And it's like that. You need a locksmith for that, not a handyman, right? so,
Yeah.
so some people will call and they're like, "Oh, I need you to fix my weed eater." No, we don't fix weed eaters. So, mostly stuff around the home or office that is broken or is not working right or just needs repair. That's something that we
Mm.
can do. The one thing I try to do is be a good ally to anybody. So if you called me and you're like, Cliff, I need a ceiling fan installed in this room and I don't have one, then we would put you in contact with an electrician that would
Okay.
take good care of that for you. Just because we've been in business 5 years, I know a lot of the people in the
Sure.
trades, and it makes it easier to, instead of you going on Google and calling 15 companies, I have a trusted ally that I use for that. And I'm kind of putting my name on them. So I wouldn't refer you anybody
Yeah.
that can do that around your home. So it makes it easy
So
for people.
would you say that you're the go-to for the honey to-do list?
Yeah, absolutely. We do many honey to-do lists all the time.
I love that so much. What's your number?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need that.
The funny thing is we actually have like 40 numbers because of marketing. And this is something I didn't learn until I got here is that's how you track your marketing is by having a call tracking number. And
There-
some people will tell me, "Hey, I saw this number for you. Is that your number?" And I'm like, "Well, I think so, but I have to go look."
Maybe if I answer, it's my phone number.
Yeah. Yeah. Our main office phone number is 737-263-4500. Pretty easy to remember.
That
And like I
is.
said, what we want to do is just ultimately give people peace of mind that they can call us and we'll either take care of it or we'll give them someone trusted to take care of it.
Mm,
So that's what we want. We want to be the one-stop shop.
the
Hey, if I
one-stop
call
shop.
Cliff, I know he'll take care of this, right? So
That's amazing. Well, I'm really interested to dive into the concept of franchise. There's so many people out there that I've interviewed, and those listening, I'm sure, that are either franchise owners or looking to franchise their own business or buy one.
sure.
And it's such a great concept. And so, what I want to dig into is your journey to franchise ownership and why Ace Handyman.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess it was about September of 2019. You know, I had a lady reach out to me. Her name was Emmy. She was from Indianapolis. And it was just one of those random emails I got about franchise, this. And so I reached back out to her. We set up a meeting and she talked to me for like 30 minutes trying to figure out what I was looking for. And then she went out and she gave me five businesses. Here's five businesses that I think you would like, right?
So she reached out to you. You were not even thinking about franchise buying
I
one.
was
This was,
thinking of doing something, but I hadn't done anything yet. So it was like the perfect scenario. It hit my inbox right when I needed to see it.
you must have clicked something somewhere that they found
Maybe,
you.
yeah. You know how all that stuff works, right?
Yeah, yeah, they heard you. They heard you talking.
Yeah. And
So,
so she gave me like five, and at the time the company was called Handyman Matters,
okay.
which was based out of Denver. They had been around since 1998 doing handyman service. But she gave me a few other ones, and like one of them was carpet cleaning. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
look, Effie, if I have to be excited about cleaning carpets every day of my life, I might as well pull my big toenails out, right? I mean, it just
Oh,
wasn't exciting for me.
yeah.
Same with the spraying for mosquitoes, it just
Okay.
wasn't interesting. Uh, so ultimately, it came down to the handyman franchise and bathroom remodel company.
Okay.
And, I talked to both and everything. One of the reasons that I chose the handyman was I thought it would be a little bit more recession resistant because
Oh.
like a bathroom remodel, you could easily put that off, right? Nothing's
Mm.
broken, nothing's not working. So with the handyman, I just thought that, people would still need things fixed, even if no, it didn't matter what was really going on in the world.
Did
And
you make
we
this
actually
decision?
opened in June of 2020, right in the middle of
Okay.
COVID.
I was doing the math. I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds really smart.
Yeah, yeah. So it was like, okay, we're gonna test this right away, right?
Yeah. But you had already been having these conversations before. Obviously, you didn't just jump in
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
just,
And the good thing is, with my background in laundry service, the company that I work for, during 2008 when everything crashed, our
mm,
revenue only went down 8%.
mm.
COVID happened, our revenue only went down 7%. So it was like, not that it was recession proof, but that was people still did laundry even when things weren't going well in the country.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to find something similar to that. So
Yeah. Your experience told you that there are things that people will give up and some things that people won't.
exactly, yes,
And if something breaks in their house, especially during COVID, where they're doing everything, they're calling
yes,
you.
yep, absolutely.
I love how you really did your investigation and work. What would you say to someone who is looking into franchises? Should they consider?
So one thing is actually sit down and really think about what do you actually want to do, right?
Mm,
Like, for example, for me, I knew I didn't want to own a Subway, right? I mean, it's just I'm not into food service, right? Um, I'm a gorilla that drags my knuckles along the ground. I like breaking, fixing things. That's what I like doing, right?
we had a little bit of an edit here because we got frozen, but Cliff, you were saying that you love fixing things. Let's just jump into that right
Yeah.
there.
I mean, I love, it's almost like an instant gratification job.
Mm.
You know, something's not working, something's broken, something needs repair, and we go out, we look at it, we fix it, and we move on. And the homeowner's probably been dreading this, or even the business owner, they've
Mm.
been dreading this for months and months and looking at it and not knowing what to do about it. And here we come in and half a day, a full day, we take care of it. They can get back to doing whatever they want. They
Mm.
don't have to look at it anymore and just move on with their lives and doing the things that are important for them, right?
Yeah. So that was, we had started the conversation before our computers got frozen. Uh, that what would you consider as a franchise owner? And you were saying, what do you like to do? And you like fixing things.
Yes.
Um, so I think that's important too. And my question that comes to me as I'm going through what's broken in my house, as a customer, as a customer, what are the pros and cons to hiring Ace Handyman and then just going somewhere word of mouth and saying, hey, Facebook, does anybody know a guy?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it happens, right? I mean, we have a lot of people that, you know, they're wanting to get stuff done, but they want to do it at the cheapest price. Well,
Mm,
the cheapest price is going to get you exactly that, probably the cheapest product. Now, there are some people that do a great job. The good thing about us is because we have a team, we always have someone that just answers the phones. We have
mm,
people that just do the work, right? When you have a one guy in a truck, he's
mm.
answering the phone while he's trying to work, and a lot of times he can't respond quickly to needs where we can because the people that are doing the work are not the people answering the phone. Another
That'll
advantage,
sell right there, just so you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Another advantage. There's a lot of handyman that do more than handyman stuff. So
Hmm.
a lot of them do big projects, essentially remodels. So if they're stuck on a job for 2 weeks, well, your broken deck boards aren't going to get addressed for 2 weeks.
Mm,
Where we do just handyman stuff, we're usually never more than 3 days out. So if you call us
yeah.
today, we could be there Wednesday or Thursday. Um, and for simple repairs, sometimes we can even be there same day, which you're not going to
Hmm.
get from somebody who
Yeah.
works for themselves, right?
Yeah.
Um, a couple of our other advantages are we carry commercial insurance. So $2 million.
Yeah.
We carry all of our guys are background checked. We're all bonded. And then I think what makes us really different in Texas is we carry workers' comp insurance, which is not required in the state of Texas. For example, last August, one of my guys was using a grinder and he cut his hand. Pretty good. Yeah.
Oh.
Um, if that would happen with a normal person, you would have to file a claim through your homeowner's insurance.
Mm.
Well, because we have workers' comp, it all comes back on us. There's nothing that the homeowner has to deal with.
Wow.
So it's just kind of those extra things that are for peace of mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, nothing's going to happen. You'll be fine. Right. But it's that one exception that's going to happen every once in a while that you don't want to have to deal with that with those headaches.
Yeah. I love it. So you're 5 years in,
Yes.
franchise owner. What are is maybe a challenge that you've walked through and that you're on the other side of it? And how did you do it?
Um, you know, I probably the easiest way to say it is grit. Right? I mean, it's not all pretty. It's not like you open the doors and just everything starts flowing in. You have to go out there and meet people and talk to people and just establish that reputation of, providing a great product, which is our people, and standing by your product. Um, we give a 1 year warranty on everything we do,
Mhm.
which, for some things it doesn't really matter. I mean, if we put a couple 2x4s in, 2x4s are going to last more than 1 year, right?
Mhm.
But the main reason we do it is because if in 11 months and 29 days you look at something and you're like, I'm just not happy with that, right? Then we come back and we take care of it at no charge,
Oh,
right?
wow.
And, it's sometimes it seems frivolous or, not a big thing, but ultimately we ask before we leave every job, are you 100% satisfied? Is there anything that I didn't deliver to you that I need to make right?
Yeah.
And if they tell us, then we make it right.
Yeah. Do you still go on jobs, or what would you say is your main role from day to day?
My main role is, networking, making sure the business is running the way it should. Um, do I do jobs? Yes. Like sometimes if most of our guys are out there by themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and if they need an extra set of hands or something, then I'll come by. If
Mm-hmm.
someone calls in sick, sometimes I'll grab a job or two if it's within my skill set. There's
Yeah.
certain things that I don't do because I know I'm not very
Yeah.
good at it.
As we all do.
Yeah. So if it's like drywall or texture, yeah, I'm not your guy, right?
Do
Um,
y'all paint too? I mean, I don't mean to
yeah,
bring
we
out my honey
paint, we
to-do
do
list, but
everything. Yeah. But
that's
but we
awesome.
also try to stay in our lane. If someone calls and they're like, I want my whole house painted, that's
Yeah.
not us,
Yeah.
right? So we refer those over to some of our painting partners.
Yeah.
But
I
if they
love
just
that.
want a bedroom done or an accent wall or something like that, then we'll be happy to do those things.
I might have to pull up my list here in a minute. Just
Yeah.
okay, so you've talked about your team a couple of times. How many people do you how many people are on your team?
So we have four what we call craftsmen, which are actual handyman in the
Oh,
field doing work. We're actually interviewing for a fifth one. And then we have an
okay.
office manager, Sean, who takes all the phone calls, makes the schedules. I mean, a lot of stuff behind the scenes, pulling.
Yeah.
He's like the Wizard of Oz, right? Just pulling all the levers.
I love that. That's a really good team. And like you said, you always have someone available and someone doing the scheduling, I think is really, and then there's you. So really you have what? That's five, six people?
Yeah, there's six people total right now. Yeah. And
How do
then
you
another
go
thing that
ahead?
I
And
try
then
to
what?
do is I try to be, there are times where say, and we had this happen, customer says, hey, my front doorknob fell off, right? It's not really a big job. All the guys are already on the schedule. So I'll run out, I'll fix the doorknob, you know, and sometimes I charge them, sometimes I don't. We had this one where the two screws fell out of the doorknob, but you can't lock your front door. That's kind of
Yeah. It's a big
that's a
deal.
security thing, right? So
Yeah.
I just went over there, I put the screws back in, and she's like, how much do I pay you? And I'm like, I can't charge you. I was only here like 5 minutes, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, there's little things like that that it's hard to, charge
Yeah.
somebody, but it's something that they need taken care of. Um,
Right.
so you just say, well, it'll come back to me in other ways, right?
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you're building community and relationship.
Yeah,
Um, Knowing that you do something like that for someone maybe free because it took you 2 minutes, they're going to call you back for the big job.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Or if not, I'll get some more from other people. Karma's a good thing, right? So,
Yeah, that's true for sure. Quoting Taylor Swift. But
yeah.
so when you look at, your business, Ace Handyman, we've only been in it for 5 years. It's really a short stint so far, but very successful. Where do you see it going the next 5 years?
Um, so ultimately, and actually it's funny because that'll actually be when I signed up for the franchise, it's a 10-year commitment. So
Okay.
we're actually right at almost the halfway point,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
So in the next 5 years, I'd like to grow this to where um, you know, 9 or 10 people, doing great work
Mm-hmm.
around the same area. I've also thought about branching out into a few areas that's not a franchise. Because of my background in laundry service, I'd like to start an appliance repair company under my
Oh.
LLC because we get a lot of calls for appliance repair. So I think I can make it work as a separate
Mm-hmm.
entity. And then um, depending on what's available at the time, I wouldn't mind expanding to another territory to do the handyman service. So
Yeah. Those are some big goals.
yeah.
How do
No,
you
you know what? It's funny when there's times where days where you're like, yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to make this business work, right? I don't know. And there's
Yeah.
other days where you're like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to expand. And,
Yeah, yeah.
it just depends on, but I think as you get farther along in the business, when you're approaching the 5 years, you already have a big customer base, right? You're getting
Hmm.
good work. Your reputation online is there. I mean, there's
Hmm.
still people that don't know about us, but there's a lot more that do now.
Yeah.
And I think at that 5 year point, probably any business, whether it's a franchise or not, I think that's the part where it kind of settles. It
Mm.
seems like there's more great days than oh crap days, right?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. What percentage are you growing every year? Do you know?
Well, this year we're up 177% over first quarter last year.
That's a hand clap.
Oh, I was so
177%.
excited this year because the economy hasn't been the greatest and everything, right? But we had a record January, a record February, a record March, um,
Wow.
which is good. So, and
What do you
April's the
attribute that
first week
to?
of
Like
April's
what are you
doing
doing
well too.
different to triple and do all of this? What do you
Well,
attribute it to?
I have shifted some of my marketing efforts.
Mm.
I used to rely a lot on pay per click,
On
but
what now?
pay per click, it's
Oh,
like,
yes.
yeah, where people click and you get charged a fee, that kind of stuff
Hmm.
online. But um, I've done a lot more of kind of old school networking. Like I have a couple
Hmm.
schools with banners up that have my, not so pretty face,
Yep.
but okay, right? And they got our phone number and that kind of stuff. And then we also do a lot of social media posts and stuff like that. So we're kind of not having all of our eggs in one basket. And I think maybe
Mm.
that has something to do with it, just kind of
Yeah.
diversifying our marketing.
That's really smart. And I say that like I wouldn't think to look on social media for Ace Handyman,
Yeah.
but it seems that sounds like it's working.
Well, and really what you don't want to do, you don't need a handyman every day, right?
Hmm.
So, but what you want to do is, create 5 or 6 days a week, create a post. So when people see it, when they do need us,
Yeah.
they've heard of us, they've seen us before, and it's kind of like, hey, let me give them a call. I've seen their trucks, I've seen, them on Facebook and Instagram, and
Hmm.
I'm actually starting out. Uh, I always tell people I have a face for radio, not TV, but I'm going to start making, some more TikTok videos and Instagram reels and, try to make them lighthearted for the most part,
Yeah.
but maybe educate at the same time.
Well,
So,
you're a fun guy. So if you're the one doing those posts, I would think people are watching. I'm going to go
yeah,
look it
yeah.
up after this for sure. Are you the one creating all the content?
Well, so what I do is I'm capturing the raw content.
Hmm.
Periodically, I'll hire like a videographer to come out to a job site, shoot a bunch of pictures, make
Smart.
videos. And then I have a marketing team that'll cut them up and make them, so you can share them on the different platforms and stuff.
In-house or out of house?
Out of house.
Yeah,
I
out
would
of
say
house.
outhouse.
Yeah. Two different meanings.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive into that because I love all things marketing. And I think people need to hear that you don't have to do everything yourself.
No.
You te I don't want to put words in your mouth. How did
Sure.
you decide that and what happened to hire out?
Well, so for a long while, when I told you I was doing all my money in pay per click,
Mm-hmm.
I was me or Sean were doing the social media posts.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that I mean, I've gotten kind of good at it, but it still takes me, to make 5 posts a week, it probably takes me 2 hours, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's probably not great, but I use uh, a program to help me make it look pretty, and all I got to do is
Yeah.
add pictures and content. Um, the good thing with these companies now, they're using AI to create these things.
Mm-hmm.
And, for me, it cost me $800 a month. They make me 16 posts. They do boosting and ads and all
Mm-hmm.
this kind of stuff. And, for me, $200 a week, it's a lot better than me spending 2 hours a week.
Yeah, you gotta give and take a little bit. Like, where do I want to spend my
Yeah.
time?
I
Yeah.
kind of did the same with bookkeeping. And this is kind of a franchise thing. I have a pretty strong background in financials and bookkeeping a little bit from my other life. Um, and, but I was trying to do it all my own QuickBooks and everything
Mm,
myself in the beginning. And after a couple of years, I was like, man, one, evidently I'm not good at it. Two, I want it to be down to the penny every single month, no exceptions.
mm.
So I hired a bookkeeper because, and it's not that much. I was like, this is all you're going to charge me? you know? And now every month I get a report and she balances everything to the
Mm.
penny and it's
Doesn't that feel
perfect.
good?
And it's a minor cost, but the headache that it takes off of my shoulders has been
Hmm.
immense.
And I just wonder, with you being the owner and you saying you've grown 117%, if that's attributed to you maybe delegating even things like that out so that you're not in
Probably.
it.
Yeah. I was never a great delegator. I've learned that I have to be a better delegator unless I want to work in the business and not on the business. So
Say that again for those in the back.
I have to be a great delegator unless I want to work in the business and not on the business.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. So you have these long-term goals. What would you, when you look ahead, what are maybe some roadblocks that you're forecasting for yourself that you are going to work towards getting those out of the way?
Yeah. I mean, there's various roadblocks that come up. It could be the state of the economy, it could be, other hurdles for, funding or whatever it's going to take at the
Hmm.
time. But, I think if I can build this business to a great place, it just makes everything else a little bit easier to accomplish, right?
Yeah.
Um, One thing that I did this year was I decided I'm not the best at everything. I'm not good, and I want a second set of eyes on what I want to do. So I hired a business coach in
Hmm.
January, and and we meet every 2 weeks and we talk about things, and he gives me homework and all that, and but he looks at my P&L statements, he looks at
Mm.
everything, and I think that's really been helpful for me to. He also had a similar background to me. He was in
Yeah.
franchising.
Yep.
He had a plumbing company for years that he grew very well and then sold it.
Hmm.
And uh, I think he went through a lot of things that I'm going through. He had it
Yeah.
18 years. I've only had it 5, right? And
Mm.
and I think that's going to be invaluable to me to
Yeah.
learn things that I don't know, and also to
Right.
coach me to be better at what I'm doing,
Mm.
right?
I love that. Well, obviously, we're a big proponent and fan of
Yes.
coaches. So the fact that you are in this saying, I need to grow to the next level. So let me hire someone to look at things because sometimes you get in you're in the woods, you're doing the work
Yeah.
that you can't see the big picture anymore, or just seasons that you can't.
Well, and yeah, that, and also, you know, helping me understand my strengths and weaknesses and how to
Yes.
work. Like, I think a lot of people want you to only focus on your weaknesses and build those up the best you can. But what he's saying is understand where you're at and how to make that work for you instead
Yeah.
of trying to compromise what you're good at because you think that's how people want you to be, right?
Mm.
And I think we went over that in the very beginning, and that's what I've been trying to do is understand, hey, I'm
Yeah.
really good at this and I'm not so good at this. Well, I don't want to be better at this, but maybe instead of me not being good at this, I hire someone that's great at it. And then
Yeah.
it allows me to focus on my strengths, right?
For sure, for sure. I
Yeah.
think that's so wise. I'm glad you said that because I've heard it said before that if everyone could have a coach, a counselor, and a pastor, we'd be good to go.
Well, and like I said, it just never hurts to have somebody with no vested interests who
Yep.
has some of the training and stuff that you guys go through, just sit there and
Hmm.
be on your shoulder and just kind of looking over the
Yeah.
steering wheel. Okay, hey, hey, you know what? I see some snow up ahead. Let's
Yes.
slow down a little bit.
Yeah, that is so good. That's so smart. I love it. Well, I love everything that you've said. I think you've given so much good advice. And before we get to some fun rapid fire questions, just share with everybody one of the biggest things that you've learned as a business owner, that you feel like everyone should know.
I think we've touched on a couple of them. I think the biggest thing is bring in good people to help support your
Mm.
business, whether they're employees or not, right? Like my bookkeeper, my marketing people, like bring those people in that have those skill sets
Yeah.
so you don't have to struggle with that so much. I mean, when
Yeah.
I first got this, the last thing I ever thought was I would learn so much about was marketing. It was the farthest thing from my head. I never even thought about it. And then here
Yeah.
I am, creating social media posts on a Saturday. And it's like, what am I doing here?
I love that. But the fact that you did it,
Yeah.
sometimes you got to do it to know that you have to hand it off too.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, I think, you have to have the right employees around you that understand your vision, where you're
Mm,
trying to go, and what their piece of getting you there looks like.
yeah.
And, you know, make sure that you appreciate them, but also make sure that they're accountable for that piece.
Yeah.
Right.
It's really
And
good.
I mean, I think and I was not that person when I started this business,
Mm,
right?
mm,
I came from an industry where I had a lot of people that relied on me, but if it didn't get done right, then I would just do
mm.
it. And I would hold them accountable at times, but not against everything. And
Yeah.
now I'm trying to be like, hey, this is where we're going. This is what we're going to do. Great. If you want to get in the car, if you don't, you can stay here. I'll get
That's
someone else to pick them up on the way.
yeah. Well, I can tell you're a lot of fun to work with too.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Life is too short not to have fun.
Mm,
So
that's
I,
true.
I enjoy, socializing. I enjoy, talking to people. I enjoy meeting new people. Uh, I enjoy anything that sounds like it'll be fun. Now I can have a
Hmm.
podcast under my belt. I never had that
There you
before.
go.
Right?
Check. I would say this is the first of many because you should be more, people should hear from you more for sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's have some more fun and let's get into some rapid fire questions. What do you say?
Sure.
All right. First one. What would you say, Cliff, is the key to success for you?
The key to success for me is finding reliable people that provide value to me and my business.
Mm. Yeah, that was kind of what you said for the advice to other too,
Yeah,
to for other business
you got to
owners. It's
take your
really
own
good.
advice, Heather.
Yeah, that's right. Take your own advice. All right, book or podcast. What are you reading or listening to right now?
So I'm trying to get into podcasts. I have this bad ADD and I have a hard time focusing. And I try to do it in the car. Um, but I found this one that is it's like a 15-minute
Oh,
clip of a book. And I
oh,
forget what the
nice.
name of the app's called, but I can go in and uh, I just finished one, and I don't remember the name, but it's like it gives you like a synopsis of the whole book in 15 minutes.
Oh,
And what I found with that is that yes, I cheated. I didn't read the whole book, but it also I can keep my attention span focused
yeah.
for that long.
And you can have a good conversation around it with someone that's read the book.
Yeah. And my hope is, and I've already bought one of the books. I haven't started reading it yet. But what I'm hoping with the synopsis is that it intrigues me enough that I'll get the
Hmm.
book and hopefully and enjoy it. I'm just
Yeah,
one
that's
that I'll
good.
be reading a book and something distracts me. And then I go back and
Hmm.
I'm like, I don't remember this. So I got to go read
Yep.
pages. And I end up reading the book like 5 times in one sit,
Yep.
one time through the book, right?
I get that for sure. Well, if you remember that app, let me know. I'm going to go search it up because that sounds really
Yeah,
good. Because, like you said, it's
absolutely.
actually good to say, do I want to read this book?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. If you had a little bit of magic dust and could sprinkle it anywhere in your business, where would you sprinkle it?
I would sprinkle it on my customers.
Mm.
So, you know, I mean, really, I think one of the biggest reasons, that we're good, not great, or great, not outstanding, is that there's just not enough people that know about us.
Mm,
If my magic dust was just awareness, um,
mm.
I think it would be a lot more value to a lot more people. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's really good. I think a lot of us feel that way for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, before we get to the final question of the day, share with everyone how they can find you, hire you, follow you
Yeah.
on TikTok, all the things.
Absolutely. I don't know all my handles, but www.acehandymanservices.com. You can go up, and when you get there, you can put your zip code. You can send us an online request, or you can call us. Uh, our office number 737-263-4500. That's our direct office number. You'll see a lot of other numbers for us. You can call any of them and they all come in, but that's our main office number. Um, and then AHS West Austin, that's our Facebook and Instagram. I don't remember what TikTok is, but yeah, I have a couple things on TikTok. I'm kind of new to it, but I'm excited to start putting a little more content out. And if you go visit your chambers and stuff like that, we're involved in 4 different chambers.
Okay. Yep.
We try to get back in the community, do stuff, and um, we do some packages where we donate hours
Mm.
that they raffle off or they give to people, and we'll do that. Also, some uh, like nonprofit places where we've done work for free. They just
Oh,
pay for
that's
the
nice.
materials, right? And
Yeah.
it was pretty good. We actually the last one we did, we sent 4 people out there. We got a lot of work done in the 8 hours.
Wow, I bet. To a local nonprofit?
Yeah, it's called Emily something down in Wimberley. It's kind of a place where you can go, and like they have a maze, they have stages, and
Oh,
they
wow.
have a big holiday lighting thing where people come, and a lot of school trips go there and stuff. Well, they had a bunch of outdoor stuff that just needed repairs.
Oh, yeah.
So we redid the maze, we rebuilt one of the stages, and a few other things
Nice.
around there. And it's stuff that they've been trying to do for a long time. Well, we just went there one day and just knocked a bunch of it
Wow.
out.
That's
So
amazing.
those are kind of fun because it's very seldom where all of us are together working on a
Hmm.
job at the same time. So those are kind of fun because it's,
Yeah.
hey Dan, hey Andrew, we haven't all been together in so
Yeah.
long.
And what a great way to give back and to a
Yeah,
place that brings so much fun to school kids and whoever else
yeah,
visits
absolutely.
there. Yeah, really
Yeah.
cool. All right. My favorite question of the day and our final question. What is most inspiring you today, Cliff?
Um, Most inspiring to me today is well, like I said, I look forward to the podcast. I've been, kind of like a puppy, and I've been like looking at stuff, but I think I get inspired every day about the potential of what we
Mm,
can do once I meet enough people, or enough people see us, because you know, I told people in the very beginning, one reason I liked this franchise was when I met the owners of the franchise, they had kind of the same beliefs as me.
mm,
I'm not here to, for lack of a better term, screw people over, take advantage of
mhm.
people. I'm here to do the right thing every single time, even if it costs me money, it doesn't matter. My whole goal is to make sure that we did what we said we did. And if we didn't, then I have to make it right. Right.
Yeah.
And I think um, the inspiration for me is just finding more people out there who maybe have had a bad experience with somebody in the past, or you know was kind of scorned by somebody in a profession
Hmm.
like that I do, and just saying, hey, give us a chance, let us show you that it can be better, it could be different,
Mm,
and and delivering that promise.
yeah. Yeah. I love that. I wrote that down that just do the right thing every time. It's really
Yeah,
simple.
every time. I always tell people, I said, you have to, I always tell people, if you want to see if I'm actually doing it right, you could put a camera right here and you're going to see it. Everything's fine, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could have a little GoPro right here and then you
I'll
can
go
have,
pro. That
but
would be a
you always
fun
have to,
TikTok.
somebody's watching you every step of the way, whether
Hmm.
it's a kid, whether it's a grandparent, you're driving down the road, you're in a restaurant, you always have to set that example
Yeah,
and, make sure that you're living what you're preaching. So,
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
I love it. Yeah, and like I said, that might be a really good TikTok video for you to do.
Yeah,
Just put a little
exactly.
camera. See, you see
I'll have
everybody?
a little
Yeah.
GoPro,
Yeah. That'd be a fun one.
have a duct tape on my head.
Yeah. I love it. Well, this was such a fun conversation. Cliff, thank you
Yes,
so
thank
much
you.
for being on the show. This was just really great. And you really just gave some really great advice to our listeners out there who are thinking about franchising or wanting to franchise their own company. Just so I just want to encourage everyone to save this show and come back because Cliff really gave some great advice and some great
Yeah,
wisdom.
and if you
So
don't have one, get yourself a business coach. It's
that's
definitely worth it.
right. Plug it, plug it, plug
It's
it,
worth
Cliff.
it and it's tax deductible.
Yes, I think we know a few over here. It's tax deductible. That's great. Well, thanks for the commercial. We did not pay him to say
Yes,
that.
absolutely. I'm not a paid consumer, so
No, I love it. All right. Well, like I said, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss notification every time a new show drops, just like this one. Thanks to everyone for joining us today, but a special thank you to you, Cliff. This was such a pleasure.
thank you, Heather. It was my pleasure as well.
We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
All right, bye-bye.